Hey, Mark, I went
What's up?
to Bristol, Tennessee for the World Series of Comedy
Oh, let's hear
satellite
all about
event.
it. Bristol, Tennessee.
Bristol, Tennessee, the brand new Blue Ridge Comedy Club.
Not that brand new. Come on.
Well, no, the new location. So I had
Yeah,
been to
yeah,
the old
but
location.
that's like at least a year.
Yeah, well, the first time I had been to the new
Okay,
location.
new to Jake.
New to me.
Yeah, got it.
Terrible. Terrible. Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
we love to hear the terrible stories. We love to hear them.
Maybe one of the worst shows I have been a part of.
Oh,
And
no.
definitely the just absolutely bottom of the barrel level of fun and enjoyment and work my time.
Let's just twist the knife a little.
Oh
Give me
man.
the details.
So
Now, this is the club that's for sale. Is this
yeah,
perhaps why? Not Versailles, Kentucky, but for
Bristol,
sale.
Kentucky. No. Yeah, probably this is why. The crowd was decent. I mean, there's a decent number of people there.
Oh, interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting. There is a flash flood warning. I just got
Flood warning, everybody. If you are time traveling back to when we are recording this, this is relevant information.
I just got a flash flood warning. My
You'll
phone
be
has been
fine.
silent for years. It's still on silent, but I guess flash flood warnings break the silent barrier and say, hey, just so you know.
I got a tornado warning yesterday in
Yeah.
Colorado.
Yeah.
Kind of crazy. All right. So good audience. Like how many people were, what night of the week are we talking?
So it's a Friday, early show Friday.
Okay.
And I would say there was getting close to 50, maybe a little more than that.
For a satellite, that's pretty decent.
I know.
Did you happen to talk to anybody who was on a Thursday or Wednesday show?
Yeah. They were saying,
was it any better?
They said it was, a decent crowd and people were into it and whatever. So the reason it was bad.
Okay.
There's a couple of things that I think the club, probably could improve on, and that would be they have like the front row is premium, which means it's empty. So, like front row, I mean, there was a handful, there was 3 people, 4 people, whatever, open to the side, but most of the front row was empty, and they were kind of far back. And the way that the lighting,
you got to upgrade people. I do. It costs extra to sit in the front row to reserve a front row seat at most of my shows. But let's say there's 8 chairs and I sell 3 VIP front row tickets. I got 5 spots to give away for free. Nobody wants to sit in the front row, but I'm like, hey, there's an upgrade. We're gonna get you in the front row. Let's fill this in, make the photos look good. Yeah, it's so important.
Yeah. Okay. So, and then the way that the lighting works, you've experienced this, I'm sure, is where there's like basically a wall of light where like, here's how much I can see and no further.
Yeah, got it.
It's basically the front row and nobody else.
Okay. So second row is invisible.
All I can see is empty chairs. It feels like.
Yeah.
All I can see is empty chairs.
Yeah.
Now, that's fine. That's what it is. So
who's hosting?
Derek. No.
Luna?
Yeah, Derek Luna, yeah. Okay. Funny guy. I like him. Got no problem with that. But I have not told you the worst part.
Okay. Can I just say something kind of crazy? Sure. Last time I saw Derek Luna, we worked together at the Denver Comedy Lounge. He was driving from wherever he lives, maybe St. Louis, I can't remember, to California. So this kid, this was like 2 months ago. He has driven all the way to California, all the way back to Tennessee, and who knows where else in between. He's getting around. Okay.
Getting around. There's a party bus. So the show is supposed to start at 7. This party bus rolls up. They keep pulling out extra chairs. So there's like 30, maybe close to 30 people there. And then this group of 20 shows up.
Okay. So let me ask a question though. Did they only have 30 chairs laid out?
More or less.
Okay, so that's kind of that's there's some intentionality with their seating. Yeah.
There was probably 40 chairs laid out, and
not capacity. They didn't have like 150 chairs,
Cool. All of that very smart. I'm for it.
Mm-hmm.
Party bus rolls up. They pull out 20 more chairs. Party Bus has, I mean, this is at 7:00 on a Friday. Party Bus has been going since it's got to be noon.
Last night at 9 p.m.
They are totally gone.
Okay.
And they are gone early, and many of them. Sometimes in a group, you have 1 or 2 vocal people.
Yeah.
No, we had, of the 20 people, we had 7, 8 vocal people.
Oh, no.
And like way over the top.
And you
like,
can't see them either.
You can't see them. You can't even come close to seeing them.
You can hear them. Oh,
no, you can hear them, and they're just shouting out, and they are just whooping and hollering at premises. So Derek would say a premise, you guys ever seen documentaries? Yeah, oh my goodness, yeah, oh my, just lose their mind on the premise, completely forget about it by the time he says the punchline. And it's just this weird backward show. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, Joe tells them, I talked to Joe afterwards, and he said, hey, if you want to kind of be part of the show, stay till the end. I'll make you part of the show. But this is a competition. You can't do that with these guys on stage. And
what about the staff? Did the staff do anything?
Staff told them. Everybody told them.
Okay.
They felt like they quieted down here and there. I knew, for my worldview is, these are good people. I have no problem with them. I'm not angry at them. They have literally just drank so much alcohol that they can no longer control themselves.
This is why I only perform in dry counties now.
Yeah. Yeah. But there's a tipping point. There's a point where it's like, I can tell you 20 times, and you can agree all 20 times.
Yeah.
You just can't do it.
Yeah.
That's fine. I'm not saying you're a bad person. I'm just saying you can't sit for a comedy show.
Yeah.
And it feels like half of this group is like that. So the owner, I talked to the owner afterwards.
Where are you? Are you in like some green room area? Are you in the showroom?
I'm in the showroom.
Before the
I'm sitting closer to the stage than they are. I'm way off to the side, but I'm closer to the stage than they are. And so they were, the owner, Sean Carter, he said something to him. He told me later that he was like, hey, it seems like you guys want to talk. That's great. Go talk outside. In here, you can't, basically trying to reason with them. And I'm like, can't reason. Anyway.
Yeah.
They eventually all make their way outside, like little groups at a time. They're going outside to smoke or whatever. And what I think happened is Sean didn't let them back in. Once they went outside, all right. So no one got kicked out, but they kind of kicked themselves out. Right.
Okay. So now we're back to 20 people.
We're back to 30-ish people. 30, and the vibe, at least the vibe that I was feeling, because I'm in the room, I'm an audience member. The vibe was like, when are they getting kicked out? When are they getting kicked out? Somebody do something. Yeah. And when now they're gone, the vibe in the room totally changes to just an unfunny, nobody's having. It was like it goes from way too rowdy to stoic. I don't know.
Geez.
Like good punchlines don't land.
Tapered room, maybe.
Yeah, maybe it had kind of that vibe. So
where are you in the lineup?
I'm fifth. So the peak of the nonsense probably happened in the host spot and the first comedian spot. Those guys they didn't get to do comedy. Okay. And then they kind of trailed off. And then I was in the middle, and I'm like, this isn't even close to fun. When I'm on stage, I get off. I'm like,
you're doing 5, 7?
I did 7 minutes. Get off. I'm like, that wasn't that. Oh my goodness, what a bummer.
Who was before you? Do you remember?
Bo Vance from West Virginia. Vance.
Okay.
And he did a thing. So there's the 20 people that heckled and almost got kicked up, but not quite, and party bus people. There's another good old boy who heckled.
Oh, geez.
He heckled a little bit of me. He only heckled just like one stupid line that was not even worth responding to. Heckled Bo, and Bo had a good shutdown to him. And that got a big laugh. And, in my opinion, that's what Bo won. And that's
Okay.
why I thought he won. Like, he had a
Okay.
good, it was good. It was fun.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So I did not move forward. And I was like, this is so unfun. And just,
Yeah.
I told my wife, I'm done. I'm done with World Series. I'm done with the World Series of Comedy. She's like,
we've heard that we're in reruns, folks. We're in reruns.
I don't think I've ever said I'm done with the World. I said I took a year off on purpose.
Yeah.
And now I'm actually in 5 competitions this summer.
Okay.
But none of them are. I mean, they're not World Series.
Sure.
And I think I'm.
So no Vegas for you in September.
Oh no, I would never go to Vegas. Okay. I hate Vegas. As a
right, but you've gone to the competition before.
I've gone to the competition for one. Like, I've been in Vegas for like less than 24 hours, and that just doesn't. It didn't seem worth it when I did it. It doesn't seem worth. I mean, I've gone for a couple of days and gone to the seminars, and those.
Yeah, once you've done them, they're pretty good.
They're pretty good. They're okay.
But if you've been to the good ones, they kind of repeat.
Now, if Joe contacted me and said, "Hey, I want you to teach a seminar," like, okay, I'll do that.
Sure.
But that would be the only way that I would do it.
Okay. Well, they're gonna miss your $90 or whatever next year.
Exactly.
Oh man, brutal. So how about peaks and valleys of the performers? Was anybody like exceptional that maybe didn't advance, or was anybody didn't seem like they belonged?
Yeah, there was a couple of guys. One guy got up and he's like, "Hey, give it up for the birthday girl," and he knew her name. And the other girl who's got a birthday, and he says her name. And this guy, and probably recites 10, maybe 11, 12 names of people, of audience members.
Okay.
He went in the back when they went outside, met them all, went on stage, and said all their names. Why? I don't know, but that's what he did. I thought that was kind of stupid. But yeah, and this is what I don't know.
Did you hang out for notes afterwards?
Oh no. I mean, they had 2 shows on Friday, so I'm like, I don't want to stay around for the second show. I had a long drive.
Let me ask you this, and this is, it's sensitive or whatever. You gotta be vulnerable here. When did you think you were going to advance? Like, what was your mindset when they were coming out to announce?
I thought the 2 guys that advanced were the guys that I thought were advanced. They had good laughs. They had solid stuff. Bo was one of them. He had that shutdown, and he had a decent-ish set. I thought my set was better. Now, whether it's confidence or arrogance, I think I was the best one still of the list. I just had a bad set, but I did have a bad set. So
when you said your set was better, did you mean like technically, like the joke writing?
No. I'm saying I'm a better comedian.
Got it.
But they had a better set
on any given Sunday, like this particular day. They outperformed you or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it was close. I was probably in the running. They told me later I was in the running.
Sure.
Turns out 2 of those. So those 2 of the guys that moved on were the top 3. They went all the way to the top 3. So it means I was
in the end of the competition,
which means I was in a harder heat than some of the other heats, which is fine.
Yeah.
So, it is, I was not upset about like not moving forward. Part of me is glad about not moving forward because now I don't have to mess with the World Series of Comedy anymore.
Oh boy. Well, okay. Any other lessons or takeaways that you're going to use in your next 5 competitions this summer?
Ooh, yeah. I mean, I felt like I was too nervous on stage, and I don't get nervous.
Yeah.
But it was just like, you have
competitions do that to you.
Well, you have this wild card of these other people, and I'm like trying to impress. I'm like, I'm not here to impress you people.
Right.
Like, I don't care what Joe thinks. But for like 10 seconds before I get on stage, I kind of cared what Joe thinks. Now, I don't care what Joe thinks, right? But I did for a second. And you know, it's I did this satellite because I wanted to get booked at the Blue Ridge Comedy Club. They
Sure.
booked me years ago. They had the funniest person in Blue Ridge competition. I came in second. That was 3 years ago. The guy who won, fun guy. I liked him. I thought I did better than him that day because he did street jokes. He did like 3 street jokes, and like I don't think you should be able to win a competition with a street joke.
Right.
But he's still a good guy, and I like the guy, and I've seen him since, and he you know, he's funny. But then that came with a weekend. So I did a competition. I got prize money for that. Came back, did a weekend, did really well. Never been booked since.
Yeah.
Like,
did you talk to Sean, or
yeah, I talked to him.
Wife maybe does some booking? I'm not sure.
No, yeah, I talked to Sean. I'm not like, hey, why aren't you booking me? I'm not like that. But I can't, you know. And then I got booked by somebody else to do a theater in Johnson City, or in not in Johnson City, that too, but in Bristol. And Sean was the host, so I was like the feature of the host.
Yeah.
And I crushed. And he's mentioned it many times of like, dude, I don't know what you were, because he was in the back, he couldn't hear what I was saying, but it's like they were. I mean, it was a kind of a tight room, and you blew the lid off.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah,
that's what I can do, buddy.
That still doesn't relate
on your stage.
Any ever bookings. So I'm like, I walked away with that saying, okay, well, my goal is my little schemy goal was win Blue Ridge or get in the top 3 at World Series of Comedy. Then I'll definitely get booked at this club that I want to work at.
Yeah.
And now that didn't happen, all right, wash my hands of all of it. I'll never get.
You'll wait for the new owners.
Wait for the new owners. Yeah, I'll never get booked at Blue Ridge Comedy Club. I don't have to worry about World Series of Comedy. I get to do.
Or if Stairs Comedy Club in your house really takes off,
yes,
you'll have the money to buy Blue Ridge Comedy Club.
That's right. That's right. It'll be the second room. So
nice.
Big Comedy Club 1 and then 2, 5 hours away.
Incredible. So I did Fringe Fest. Holy moly. It's in the books. It's done. I got to say, my number one overwhelming like reaction to the whole thing, there was a lot of stress going into it. It felt like final exams in college.
Yeah.
When it was done, when I did my last,
wait, hold on. Did you go to college?
I went to college, if you can believe it. Right. Yes. Did I finish? Who knows? But I've been. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, they booked me, but Saturday I told them I wasn't available. So actually, no, sorry. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they book me. And I remind them, hey, I got 2 shows up in Vail on Saturday. I can't do Saturday. They're like, great. Thursday, Friday, Sunday. And then I go, you know what? I want to concentrate the ticket sales on Thursday and Friday. Let's skip Sunday. Unless I sell really well on Thursday and Friday, we'll add Sunday back. So I do Thursday. So first off, what a cool energy and vibe. I'm not sure I'm going to make any money from it. I did have fun at the shows. I got a lot out of it, but mostly it was just cool. It was very artsy, like theater camp, summer vibes, like just weird people. We had this kickoff party in a gorgeous theater I've never seen, like a 400-seater in Lower Highlands in Denver. It's been open for like 100 years, but they like renovated it. It's gorgeous. I think it's called the Christmas Theater in Denver. It's awesome. It rules. And basically everybody got to go up and do like a 30-second preview of their show. And so they had like 100, there were 83 shows during Fringe Fest in Denver. It was huge at like 10, 12, 15 different venues. It was all over town. Now you hear that, but every show was not exactly full.
Sure.
If you can imagine. But anyway, so I get to go up on stage in front of people in like worm costumes and burlesque stuff. and magicians and people on stilts.
Hold on.
Opera singers, like it's crazy. Like I am the
worm
most
costumes.
Yeah, like there were people doing these one-man shows that were like sci-fi / romance novel, like so it's like Sexy Worm with a big eyeball, you know, like it was just it was cool. Like it was a good
Sexy
energy. Everybody was there.
Sexy Worm.
But I definitely had a like social anxiety panic attack thing at this party. There was like, I don't know, 100, because some of the shows have like 4 to 6 people in them. Like mine was a 1-person show, but some of them are like multiple people. So at least 100 people at this kickoff party. Yeah. I forget the exact timing, but let's say like 3 o'clock is when the 30-second previews start, but the party starts at 2. So I got there at 2:45 thinking, well, I'll cut out the social part. I'll say a couple hellos. I didn't say hello to a single person. I picked up my gift bag and I was just completely overwhelmed. Like I couldn't handle it. I didn't know anybody there.
If you're face to face with a sexy worm, you don't even know what to say.
Yeah, exactly. It was nuts. And it was so loud and everybody's screaming and they got crappy pizza as food, which is very nice of them. But like, I wasn't into it. So I went into the theater early. I was like the first person in theater and just played on my phone for 15 minutes. And let me tell you, I've never been happier to be all by myself. I felt kind of bad. I really should have been out there networking and glad handing and trying to get people to come to my show and saying, I'll go to their show. But anyway, so I do the thing and then I race over from there. No, this must've been much later. 3 o'clock's totally wrong. Cause Ratio Beerworks has a Wednesday night show that's free every week. Matt Kobos, Patrick Richardson, Corey Healy, they triple host it. And I got myself onto that show on Wednesday because on Thursday I was performing in the very same room. So I was like, this is good marketing. I will get a spot on the show if I can, and then I can perform in front of like 50 people and I'll just tell everybody, hey, I'm performing tomorrow night and Friday night right here. Come see me. I'll get you free tickets.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah. Good marketing. So that's really where all my social energy went for the day. And anyway, so I ended up leaving in the middle of the 30-second presentations, raced across Denver to get to Ratio Beerworks, got there right about as the show was scheduled to start, but it started like 15 minutes late. So it wasn't too big a deal. But I try to be at shows like half an hour early. And, you know, I want to set up a camera and do all this stuff. Anyways, so I do that spot. That spot's really fun. Thursday night, we have the first show. And the show before me, the hour, has like 50 people at it. Yeah. I get about 15, 20 people, maybe. Most of them stuck around from the last one. Yep. I don't know how this stuff works, but in the like dashboard for the event, it says I sold 0 tickets.
Okay.
And that's part of my compensation. I'm supposed to get money based on, but there were like 20 people there. Yeah. So I don't know what's going on. I went to other events and they would like write me down as a walk-in to give credit to the performer, but I don't know if I'm getting any credit for that first show. And the conceit of the show was that I'll do some jokes, but mostly it's like I'm talking about the industry and the business of being a full-time working stand-up comedian. Yeah. And I don't think the show went very well.
Okay.
Every time I did jokes, they went crazy. They absolutely loved it. It was like the hottest show ever. And it's only 20 people in like a 75-person room. Yeah. And then I would talk about sleeping in my car or trying to get booked at a comedy club or, you know, headlining.
Did you, so how many jokes in a row would you do?
I do like 2 to 5 minutes of jokes.
Okay. So you like, be able to build a little momentum and everything. Okay.
Yeah. And then I get momentum immediately, dude.
Oh, really?
I'm like going from TED Talk to jokes, and the first punchline, it would go crazy.
Yeah.
Like I was really killing with the jokes.
Yeah.
But I really wanted to talk about this stuff that is going to become the content for my second book.
Sure.
But they really did not want to hear it for the most part. But I involved them, like as they were seating, I ask people like, do you have any questions about stand-up comedy? And I weave that into the show. And the whole idea was every show was going to be 100% different, other than the first like 30 to 90 seconds where I kind of explain what the show is. And so I got through that first show. A couple people came up to me, asked for business cards, and said hi. But I would say I would give myself a C on the first show. The second show, the Friday night show, I sold 9 tickets somehow.
Hey.
Somebody drove from our show at Georgetown, Colorado.
Yeah.
One of those people came to the show.
Wow.
Awesome. I'm sorry, our Idaho Springs show. Yeah. But the guy lives in Georgetown. And so like people came to see me. I had less people. I had like 12 people at the Friday show.
Yeah.
World of difference.
Really?
I did about half jokes, half stories about industry. I think the stories were better and they tied into the jokes better, and people they loved the material. And I ran out of time. I had like, I was worried about filling that second 45 plus minute show. And I was at like 40 minutes and I still had like 20 minutes of stuff. And I had to ask the audience, what do you want to do in these last 5-7 minutes?
Yeah. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
When I've done similar, nothing at this level, but similar things where you do a joke and then you switch.
Nothing at this level. Nothing with only 9 people in the audience.
Nothing with only 9 people.
Please.
Nothing on purpose. But I've done some things where I've done jokes and then I transition to obviously not jokes. It's just information, just like speech or whatever. And I get a little bit weird because it's like your jokes, it feels normal. You get a laugh, and then I'm going on purpose. I'm going to go 3-4 minutes without a laugh.
Yeah,
it feels like a different like. Oh, am I bombing right now? Well, no, I'm not even trying to do comedy right now.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, at the first show, and I didn't say this the second show, which I think was good, but it was very honest. At the first show, I said, I'm going to mostly talk about industry stuff and do some jokes. It's going to be very hard for me not to ask for your laughter with a punchline every 15 to 30 seconds.
Yes, exactly.
Throughout this experience. Yeah. And I feel like that kind of set things up as like me saying 80% of this isn't going to be fun for me, which implies it won't be fun for you. So I didn't say that the second night and it went much better.
Yeah. That's fun.
But they couldn't have been nicer. There was like a really nice stage manager, and I kind of knew more than they did about the soundboard and whatnot. But I brought it like a wireless mic thing, and it was one of the nice things about performing the night before. The mics are dented to like, you've never seen a mic more dented than these mics. They're like basically flat on the top.
Yeah.
And so I brought my own microphone, which is really easy to pop in and pop out, which I did before and after each show. And then I also converted it to wireless. I have these fancy XLR things. So then I could like go into the audience and talk to people, which would have been more fun if there were like 100 people there.
Sure.
But so here's my pitch for next year. You ready? Yeah. I'm going to take, once I figure out if I get paid anything, I will decide. And next year, as like when they announce the dates and I see if I'm booked on anything, I would like to, it's nice to stay in Denver, and it's a solid chunk of stage time. Yeah. And I think I could do some better things marketing and probably get, like if I could get 25 people at each show and maybe even do 3 shows, like 75 people across 3 shows, and kind of build my brand in Denver. Because at the very first show, there was like a kind of open micer who I didn't realize was an open micer, more an improv, like Rise person, who came up and talked to me afterwards. And they were like, I've just never heard of you. Like I see a lot of comedy. Like I told stories about Sal Mazzacchi, Elin Stribling, Derek Stroop, and this person in the audience knew those people. Yeah. Because they go to a lot of comedy. And so I think it could be good for me, even if I can't make money.
Yeah, well, that's something that my brother is. You and my brother are similar, and
very handsome, missing a finger. Yes.
Yeah, and that's a good thing. But he's also he's a very crafty. in a good way. I'm not saying he's a bad guy.
Because the guy who 15 minutes ago was like, well, here was my scheme.
He's a little schemy. He's a little schemy. Now, his schemes are not illegal, so who cares if he's scheming?
Sure. He's got an angle. We've all got angles.
We've all got angles. But he had this idea of like a perceived expert. So he does things to make him look like an expert in a field, whether or not he is.
Yeah.
And, I think this would be like that. You know, like you're an expert of stand-up comedy in the Denver scene, or at least you're ranked
like based in Denver,
a
national expert on stand-up comedy. Yeah.
And that's
true.
That's good. I think you actually are more or less an expert, but to get a recognized, status of that, your book is one of these things too. That hey, I
sold one book too.
Here's a book. Yeah.
Yes. So I sold a book. I'm back on the wagon selling books.
Sweet.
Yeah. So anyways, what's the conclusion to your schemy brother?
Is that it is, I think one potential benefit of doing it next year is you raise your perceived expertise.
Oh, got it. And, like I'm a regular at the.
Yeah. And that's good.
And like one of the other comics, for whatever reason, the Ratio Room, it was all comedy. There were 4 45-minute to hour-long shows. One of them was a woman from Brooklyn who was on like Veep and has a bunch of credits. She's on some new Apple TV show coming up. So she's also an actress, whatever.
Do you remember her name?
Oh, it's so confusing. It's like Julia. It's really difficult to pronounce.
Was she blonde?
Short hair.
Okay, no.
No, okay.
There was a woman that had an Apple TV show, and she did Don't Tell in Chattanooga.
Okay.
And I looked her up afterwards. She was a professional golfer, and it's like her
cool
TV show is professional golf. And she did some comedy. And it felt like, okay, you're kind of new in comedy, but you're very nice. Yeah. I looked her up and she had so many followers. Like,
oh, cool.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. That's neat. So anyway, and there were a couple Denver comics, one I knew, one I didn't know, one who, sold really, really well. That was the show that was before me on Thursday night. And the show was like, it was okay. It was very, personal and like, vulnerable. And there were punchlines, but they were like kind of medium punchlines, but with like 60 people there who were all on her side. Like they loved it. I will say that she crushed. She did very, very well with what I thought was okay material and stage presence.
Yeah.
So anyways, here's my idea for next year.
Okay.
And let me say one last thing about why I think the first night didn't do as well as the second night.
Quick question. This female comedian who did well, was she dressed like a sexy worm?
No. We didn't have any weird costume stuff. Although I'm thinking about it. If I could dress myself up as a worm for next year, that would be helpful. Shoot, what was I going to say? One thing that I did bad. The first night, the industry stories I told, they were more negative than positive. And the second night, there was like more of a feeling of optimism in the overall vibe. Like basically one of the sections I did the first night, and we can talk about this on the Patreon, was not everybody loves Mark Masters. Yeah. And so like the idea is like most comics in Denver, there's like 300 comics. Most people like me. I'm pretty likable. I'm pretty nice. I provide stage time to folks, and people would be surprised to learn that there are a lot of people who don't like me. Not a lot, but there are enough. You book shows long enough. I forgot to say this during the show, but I meant to throw out this quip, which is like, it's like a street joke almost. Running shows is a great way to make friends quickly and lose friends over a longer timeline. Yeah. It's hard to run shows. It's just like you can't be popular with everybody because everybody wants to be on the show. And so anyway, so I told a kind of long story about some comics who don't like me. Yeah. And so that.
Now, why Why do you think they don't like you?
Well, we'll talk about that on Patreon.
Okay,
And by the way, patreon.com/Mark and Jake. I'll spill the names. We'll talk numbers. We'll talk very specific details. And we'll decide if they like me. I think one doesn't like me and one is okay. And I'll put out those facts. We'll talk about it on Patreon. In fact, I'm going to write that down right now. Just a reminder, everybody, if you're a Patreon subscriber, which by the way, we now have bonus content. Our first ever bonus content is live on the Patreon. I've been talking about Amherst, Texas for a while. And on a recent episode, I teased that this video that I took for this lady that I sent to the lady, and then she texted me back about it, that I would put it on the Patreon. It is now on the Patreon. It is live on the Patreon this week. Also, I do want to say very quickly, we have had a hellacious time recently with this podcast, technically on the back end. Last week, we're taping episode 47 right now. This week, 44 came out. 43 did not go live on Apple or Spotify. Thank you to all the listeners who told us, but they went live on the other platforms. Wow. And so I talked to the company that I pay real money to. This is their whole job. This is all they're supposed to do. And so they quote unquote fixed it. But now on the other platforms, there's 2 copies of episode 43. And so, and then in week 44, which is this week, every platform except YouTube got a 17-minute version of the podcast. It just ends at like 17 minutes and change. Weird. But the real episode is an hour plus long. And then they fixed it today. So that it's actually last night. So they fixed it the same day, but at least they were a little faster this time. But also now there's 2 copies. There's a 17-minute version and an hour-long version on at least one of the platforms that's out there, and probably lots of them. So apologies for that stuff, everybody. But you know, what can I do? This company stinks. I wish I could. Maybe I'll say their name on the Patreon. So, and the point of this is that the Patreon is great. You should get in there. It's only $5 a month. Patreon.com/Mark and Jake, Mark with a K. And I'm just going to write down who doesn't like Mark and podcast company. I'm going to tear them a new one on the Patreon. Everybody get in there.
I think it's very generous of you to say we had a tough time with and I do nothing. I do nothing on the back end.
Yes. I do all of that, and we got to make all that money back that I'm paying this company eventually. Hopefully, get on the Patreon, everybody, so we can start making it back. So here's my idea. Here's my pitch for 2027 Fringe Fest Denver, and potentially there are a lot of people that tour their show and go to other Fringe Fests. So I could potentially go to other cities, but I'm calling it Bitsplainer, BITSPLAINER. Originally, I was going to call it Behind the Bits, but I'm pretty sure that was a popular podcast.
It was.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So it took me about 10 minutes to realize that's why that sounds so good.
Yeah.
But the basic idea is, on the second night, I think the best parts of my hour were when I finished telling a joke and I told some kind of story about that joke, like how long I worked on it, how long it's been since I've changed a single word. Like some of them are like, I haven't changed a word in that joke in 4 years. And people were really engaged and interested in those stories. Or this is the part that's a lie in that joke. This is the kernel of truth. This is where it started, blah, blah, blah. This is, and like inside baseball, like just like you asking, so who is it that doesn't like you and why don't you like them? They're like follow-up questions about the jokes. And here's the cool part. It's going to be with Mark Masters and friends.
Ooh.
So I can just email, like 15 comics and say, if you can come over between 7 and 8 p.m. on Friday at Ratio Beerworks, I'll give you $20, or I don't even know if I'll pay people. Sure. Come through for 10 minutes, tell 2 to 5 minutes of jokes. And then the 2 of us with 2 microphones, because we had this happen at Film at Vail Comedy Festival about a month ago. And where one of the stars of a movie wanted to do a Q&A with another festival headliner. And I was like, well, we don't really have a second mic. Let's just stick it to you, because that's all we've ever done. We've only had one person. And I was totally wrong about that. They ended up sharing a mic, and it was so much better because there were two of them.
Yeah.
They were able to like joke with each other and bounce answers off each other. And so that's the idea. It will be like half me, half special guests, telling jokes and telling the like, you know, like what was that VH1 show? Pop-up video.
Yes. Yeah.
Like it'll be like that kind of thing where you explain, you know, where the joke come from. And then I can even say like, yeah, I've heard you tell that joke forever. I remember when you changed whatever. And then the hope would be, you know, maybe like John Novosad or Adam Caton Holland or even somebody who's headlining Comedy Works for the weekend will like pop over, and it'll be like kind of like a famous person. And then it'll be like, well, you never know who's going to show up. You should definitely go check out Bitsplainer, and it'll be a different show every time.
That's fun. That's a fun idea.
Way less pressure on me.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a fun concept for a show, not just a Fringe Fest thing.
Sure.
It's an interesting show concept. So yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, we got about 3 weeks until this episode comes out. So I'm going to have to register bitsplainer.com before the dozens of people that watch and listen to this episode race to get it.
They're going to beat down GoDaddy to make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah. Fun. So pretty good experience overall. I would encourage people, comics, you know, take a look at Fringe Fest. I do think it's easier to get in than you think. I think they accepted almost everybody, which doesn't make me sound great, but and that might just be a Denver thing. I'm not too sure. And they worked really hard. They did a really good job. Like, I know a thing or two about running a festival, and it's just unbelievable how much, you know, running a 10 venue, overlapping, 83 show, 100 plus performers. Very cool. Very cool. So that was Denver Fringe Fest.
That's cool, man. Oh, I've got a show coming up in just a couple of weeks where I'm going to do comedy. Mostly they want crowd work, basically. At a church on Father's Day. So the idea is Mother's Day, we do something special for the mothers and we give them something. And, you know, Father's Day gets ignored a lot. And so we're trying to give them something special. You know, at least the men at this church like comedy. So let's try to give them something. So they're going to bring me in, and this church has, I think, 3 services. And so it's pretty common for people to like go to one and then go somewhere else for like serve in another part for the other service, and kind of just be in the building, but not in church the whole time. You know, that's pretty common. And like have a little comedy station where, you know, I don't know what it's going to look like. It feels weird, but I'm into it.
Like a carnival kind of? Like you're going to be out by the coffee and donuts.
Yes. Like in the lobby, in the coffee and donut area. So not in the main where church is happening thing. But and
can you close it off at all?
Yeah, I think that there's a way to close it off.
Okay.
He said that there's like this side room. But you know, we have to kind of direct people.
Because my concern would be, let's say there's like 10 people in line.
Yeah.
When you're like halfway through the line, you can totally hear whatever you're doing with the person at the front of the line. Yeah. And I feel like that would make it less impactful by the time I got to the front of the line.
Yeah, I don't know if it's going to be a lot. I'm not sure if they're going to like line up to get insulted or whatever, but maybe, maybe. And so I'm going to just
on the flip side, if there's 20 people in line, if you can get them into some kind of like semicircle, and there's one object that you're focused on, one person, then you can have like an audience to actually laugh. Which might be better.
I think that's closer to what it will be like, but I have no idea, right? I've never done this before. I think this is an interesting idea, though, and something to pitch even to other churches of, hey, here's something that we can do.
Well, make sure you get some video of, somebody else shooting it, of the audience around you, and then some testimonial stuff, and you can stitch that together to help pitch.
Yeah. Because this is the same church that I went to do. I taught them improv. I did like an improv seminar for them, and that was good. But you suggested you should have filmed like B-roll of it happening and then testimony. And I didn't do any of that. So I can maybe get some testimony of that while I'm there.
Yeah, for sure.
And that'd be fun. But
well, that's cool. Did they reach out directly to you because they know you? Yeah, nice.
Yeah, they know me. Yeah,
that's fun.
So yeah, that's an interesting, I don't know, a weird show, but
yeah. Speaking of interesting and weird, Jake, tonight is the night. It's peak Mark Masters comedy of 2026. It's Tuesday, June 9th, 2026, and I am hosting the screening.
That's right.
Dumb and Dumber as part of CO 150 film series, a special year-long event for the 150th anniversary of the state of Colorado.
Yes.
I'm so honored. And you would not believe the marketing. Like, you go to buy a ticket and it's like Jim Carrey, Jeff Daniels, Mark Masters, live comic will be at the screening.
Fantastic. So hosting a film, I have no idea what that would even look like.
I put a lot of thought into this. Let's talk about it, baby. So my original thought was I have a 20-minute slot.
Yeah.
And my original thought was 20 minutes of stand-up. That's what I'm doing. And then I gave it some more thought. I watched part of Dumb and Dumber. I'm like, this is not stand-up, movie. They're kind of very different things. So I went in a totally different direction. Okay. Yesterday, I spent about 3 hours making the most professional looking slideshow you've ever seen. You know when you go to the movies and they'll have like a weird like trivia or quote question sponsored by Pepsi or something, and it like folds over and shows you the answer, and maybe there's like a picture of Humphrey Bogart in Casablanca or whatever. I made that. I made a 15 and a half minute slideshow that is 5 minutes of my favorite quotes from Dumb and Dumber. And every slide is like the quote, and then there's like a retro TV, and inside the TV, there's a screen grab from the movie that's related to the quote. Yeah. So like Pretty Bird, and then you can see the bird, that kind of thing.
My first,
our pets' heads are falling off.
That's the one. That was the first quote that came to mind.
I think that's the first one. That's the first quote in the whole thing. And it's actually, the picture isn't the greatest because it's the picture of the kid in a wheelchair, the blind kid petting his bird, but it's close enough. You get the idea. So you're saying there's a chance. It's a picture of Jim Carrey and Mary Swanson is her name. So I guess Lloyd Christmas and Mary Swanson together. So there's like 5 minutes of that, and then there's 10 minutes of trivia, which is really good trivia. Like there's some trivia that's like pretty hacky, Dumb and Dumber trivia, and then there is some trivia that is like I just did I have a lot of inside knowledge about Dumb and Dumber. Like I've met people who've been in Farrelly Brothers movies. I have the movie starts in Rhode Island. I've spent time in Rhode Island. The movie is filmed partly in Breckenridge and Copper Mountain and Estes Park, Colorado, and I've been to all those places. So I have like inside information, like questions you can't easily Google the answer to. And then I have pictures that are related to that, and it's all animated. Like every time it switches, it like fades in and fades out or folds over. And so I think it's going to look really good. And I got a bunch of the soundtrack from Dumb and Dumber. So I'm going to play that music. So that gets me into 15, 16 minutes of my 20 minutes. So I only have 4 to 5 minutes left. And what I told the venue was I'm going to play it by ear from there. I might do 5 minutes of stand-up. You know, maybe there's only 4 people in the audience, or maybe there's 120 people in the audience. Maybe people are very chatty. Maybe I'll just ask people. I have my wireless microphone thing, and I'll go around and say, when did you first see Dumb and Dumber? Did you see it in the theater? So maybe like a Q&A thing. I haven't really decided what to do for the last 4 or 5 minutes. I might just share my own personal stories about Dumb and Dumber. I might tell a couple jokes, but I really think it's pretty likely there's zero stand-up involved.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. That's interesting. I would have. Oh wow. Okay.
Right. That's where I'm going. You got to also consider the. I'm not when I run comedy shows in this movie theater, and when I do, I bring about $5,000 of equipment, and it takes like 40 minutes to set it up. I'm not bringing any of that stuff. I'm not bringing the spotlight. I'm not bringing the stage. So I'm just gonna be like standing on the floor.
Yeah.
It's not a good comedy environment, really. I'm not even gonna have a mic stand. Not that that really matters too much. But I definitely feel more like an event host.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting? One of the movies at Film at Vail Comedy Festival was about warm-up comedy, which is something I didn't know a lot about. I think that's more of what I'm doing.
Okay.
Well, it might be more like crowd work. Like who's here from Breckenridge, who traveled from somewhere else, who's a patron of this theater, like who's a like they have a subscription thing. Who's coming to the Hateful Eight on June whatever, which is the next movie in their series. So I feel like it's going to be more conversational and less. It's just going to be weird. It's going to feel like I'm begging for attention. If I'm like, okay, now I'm going to do my little skit, and it's going to feel like a fifth grader who at like a backyard barbecue, like, okay, everybody watch me do gymnastics now.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's fun. That's fun. When you say trivia, I hear trivia question, but you're just going to say facts.
No. There are pairs, sometimes 3 slides, usually just 2. And the first slide is a question.
Okay.
And the second slide is the answer.
Yeah.
And then for about a third of them, the third slide is fun fact. So it's like extra information about that topic.
Yeah. Are you going to try to? Yeah.
Would you like an example?
I would like an example.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey starred in 3 #1 comedy movies in 1994. One was Dumb and Dumber. What were the other 2?
I think I know.
Go ahead.
The Mask and Ace Ventura.
Very good. Yep. Ace Ventura, Pet Detective came out in February 1994. The Mask, July 1994. And Dumb and Dumber, December 1994. Cemented a 32-year-old as a global superstar. So I would count that as a hacky question. That's a pretty easy one. You want a harder one?
Yeah.
We can do more of these on the Patreon if we have time. All right, here's a harder one. In which East Coast city does the film begin, and what iconic insect do they drive past when they leave for Aspen?
Ooh, insects, the one I don't know. I think they start in Providence, Rhode Island.
That is correct. And I will explain the insect on the Patreon. You got to join the Patreon, everybody. Patreon.com/Mark and Jake.
I don't know the insect.
But that's the basic idea. I got like 20 of those.
Are you gonna you're gonna like ask a person in the audience, like
I haven't figured that part out. It depends. Like maybe people start shouting out the answers.
Yeah.
In which case, maybe I'll run around with a microphone. Maybe I'll ask people to raise their hand. I think if I were to do this again next year and level up, I would have a way for people to answer into like a Google Doc or something like that, and I would keep score. And I'd be like, Charlie's got 15 points. Trevor's coming up from behind.
Yeah. So there is a teacher application that
like Skadoodle or something like that.
Kahoot.
What is it called? Yes, exactly. That's the one. Yeah.
And I've never seen a comedian do a Kahoot, but I've heard of comedians doing a Kahoot. And
I thought of doing it. Yeah. I didn't have the time and energy.
And I think a Kahoot as a comedian would be a lot of fun.
Of course. It'd be great. I mean, it would be kind of like a lot of comics. That's how they pay their rent. They do trivia.
Yeah.
They host trivia. So it'd be basically that. This is like a stepping stone towards that. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe I'm going to become a trivia host.
I have hosted trivia and musical bingo, and they're not super fun.
So I always get depressed when I hear, like, I'll give you 2 examples. One, a guy who won World Series of Comedy, ostensibly a nationally touring headliner, talked to him, and he was like, "Yeah, most of my income is hosting trivia."
Yeah.
I'm like, God, that just seems sad and depressing. And then there's another. I won't. I guess I'll say his name on the Patreon, but there's a Comedy Works headliner who I've had a similar conversation with. He's like, "Yeah, I got to leave early. I'm hosting trivia tonight. It's how I pay my bills." Yep. It's just like, man, that's not what we got into comedy for.
Yeah.
To host trivia.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. So I have something that I am on my mind, right?
Let's hear it. On the mind of Jake.
On the mind. I've been reading a book. I like to read. If you're watching the video, you can probably see
reading with your eyeballs or your ear holes.
400 books behind me. I don't know how many books I own because there's 2 bookshelves this direction and there's another one that direction that you can't see.
Right.
I
like how Jake makes it sound. If you're only listening to this, you might think he's standing in the middle of the Library of Congress.
Pretty close.
I would guess it would take him under an hour to count all those books.
Oh,
it's an impossible task. I would never know how many books.
Yeah.
Maybe even half an hour. But
yeah.
Anyways, so are you reading a specific book with your eyes or your ears?
So the interesting answer is both. I bought the book when I was in Denver for my nephew's graduation. And then I was like, oh, I also have a long drive and I had to do some yard work. So I got it from the library audio version. So I've read it I've read it part way on paper. And then the most interesting part I read again on paper. And then I listened to the whole thing start to finish on audio. So a little both. It's weird, but the part so it's 4,000 weekends is the name of the 4,000 weeks, not 4,000 weekends. 4,000 weeks is the name of the book.
Was that 80 years? Is that your whole lifetime?
Yeah. And so the idea is you only have 4,000 weeks, and the big premise is you can't do everything.
And it's by a stand-up comedian, and it's like, how come they're not all booked and full?
Yeah. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So I the big thing that I'm there's several principles, but the one that I'm thinking of is a project, like my current project, and basically have one project and do it start to finish, completely finish that before you move on to another project. And I am terrible at that.
Yes.
I will have way too many projects going, and then I'll get frustrated and confused. And
yes, folks might not know that Big Jake Hovis is a stage name. His real name is ADD Jake Hovis.
Yes. So I will do half of a project or work on it for a little while.
Of course.
So
like counting those books. How many times have you got up to 90 seconds of counting books and then just like, this is impossible?
Yeah.
What is this? The Library of Athenia?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of books.
How long do you think it would take you to count to 500?
Ooh, I don't even.
About 500 seconds. How many minutes is that? That's like less than 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So take about 10 minutes to count all those.
Seems like a ridiculous waste of time.
You get one of those little clickers would make it quicker.
Yeah. But there are a lot of books in it, and that's one of the things that this book that I'm just finished yesterday is like, I cannot read all of them.
Yeah,
I have more than I can read, and I just have to accept that.
Famous quote about.
Yeah,
I'm gonna try and Google for it, but I don't think it will work.
Yeah, but
what else is fun in that book?
My point is this project thing.
Okay,
and so professionally in the comedy profession, have one project and then finish it before you move on to something else. That's not how I have behaved myself. I have all of these different spinning plates and I'm like, nothing ever gets done, and it's really frustrating. So my project currently is just to get my spreadsheet and my accounting and all of that up to date.
Very exciting.
Very exciting, but has taken me. I've spent so many hours on this thing. I mean, I'm way too behind.
What about the comedy club?
So that's on the list, but it's not yet. Right? I have to finish something before I moved on to something else.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Yeah. Okay, here's that quote. I don't know if this is the one I was exactly thinking of. Ernest Dimnit, who apparently is a French priest and author. Do not read good books. Life is too short for that. Read only the best. I've heard many versions of that.
That's a good one.
Over the years.
Yeah.
You could say the same thing about stand-up comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we gotta wind this down. Everybody, check out the Patreon this week. Yep. You got anything to pitch for the Patreon?
Well, I can finish this thought about the projects.
Okay.
What projects I am abandoning and I am purposefully not doing, at least until this other project is done, and what my second project is that I'm also pretty excited about.
All right. I'm going to spill some tea about who doesn't like Mark. We're going to talk about the podcast company and answer Dumb and Dumber trivia. And this is our very last chance to do Bachelorette roast jokes. Yeah. We've got a couple more bridesmaids to go through. That gig is this Sunday. Jake, this is coming out June 29th. What do you got going on then?
Yeah. I think I have, I have a show in Louisville on July 11th, Derby City Fest on July 10th, and nothing on
July 12th.
Yeah, July 12th. Mark's in town.
Oh my goodness! I hope you'll be on that show.
Yeah. He said I'm on that show too.
Okay.
I totally forgot about this. On July 1st, I'm headlining at the Western Kentucky State Fair.
Wow.
Pretty fun.
That rules.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay. Everybody, if you want to have me tell roast jokes at your church party on Father's Day, I'm available. markmasters.co has a contact form. I'll respond the next day. July 2nd, I have a private event with a mental health nonprofit up in Vail, Colorado. I'm organizing it, I'm performing at it, and we're doing shows in English and Spanish language. I'm not performing on the Spanish show.
Yeah.
Friday, July 3rd, I'm doing a public show at Kachina in Vail. That's at the Lodge at Vail in Vail Village. 2 nationally touring headliners, Stephen Gillespie, Rojo Perez. Going to be a killer show, super fun. Town will be packed for the 4th of July. Hopefully we fill up that room. And Saturday, 4th of July, we're back. It's been several years since 4th of July has lined up exactly this way, but we will be in Breckenridge, Colorado, where I will be tonight doing the Dumb and Dumber hosting. That's at the Eclipse Theater. Same lineup, Stephen Gillespie, Rojo Perez from The Tonight Show. And then Wednesday, July 8th, I go out on the road. I'm in Fleming, Colorado. Those tickets are not online yet. I'm pretty sure they'll get online soon. Thursday, July 9th, Iowa City, Iowa, headlining again. July 10th, Friday, Pontiac, Illinois, headlining. Saturday, July 11th, Mahomet, Illinois, headlining the Yellow Door. Those 3 shows, I think the tickets are available. And July 12th, I am in Louisville, Kentucky. I am guessing I'm headlining, but Jake has been very squirrely and cagey and will not introduce me to Craig Ewing or whatever his name is to try and figure that out. But check out my website, markmasters.co, for those dates, and check out the Patreon, everybody. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.